Let's open it up then and have a look. So the plastics on the outside of it are really nice, but I have to say the plastics on the inside of it don't look that good. Now you might not be able to see from the video, but for example, the around that speaker grill there looks extremely cheap, and it just doesn't look very good quality, to be honest.
I wonder why they didn't listen to people, because we were shouting and everyone was shouting when they released the first one in white that hey, please bring on the black one, and they did, and people liked that. So why now have it on this cheap silver? Would be way better on all black.
This is possibly an Asian thing. They wanted to have gold, I'm sure. But they went halfway and went silver. Alright, let's go around the inside of the device then. So on the left hand side, this is in addition. So this is not in the MBook M1, this is the left and right mouse pointer, slightly indented and clicky and not very easy to use, although still way better to have them than not have them, and I use them all the time. There's an argument that maybe the positioning of those should have been on the casing, but it's something you'll get used to, and yeah, it's better than having nothing at all there. It's much better than having nothing at all. There's a tinny little mono speaker here on the left hand side. It's reasonably loud, so usable for Skype. I've done I had a 20-minute conversation with you the other day, didn't I, JKK, and that was fine. Worked out really well.
Yeah.
These are just rubber stoppers, and then on the right hand side there's I believe it's a 0.3 megapixel camera. It is in the specs, but I haven't tested out what the resolution is of it, and it does seem to be a little bit slower in responsiveness than on the MBook M1, and that might be because of the slightly different processor that's in it. I'll give you the specs in a minute. Underneath that there's a recessed optical mouse pointer. If you've never used an optical mouse pointer, basically it just picks up movement of your thumb over it and translates it to mouse movement. This is the first time I've used a recessed one, and it does feel a little bit less comfortable, uncomfortable.
Feels like you are like I don't know, hard to describe, but it's not that.
UMID say it's to prevent accidental usage of the mouse, but to be honest, I don't think there's much chance for that. And if it was flat, it would be a much nicer, more comfortable experience. I don't think there would be any disadvantages in leaving it raised up. But anyway, it's still usable, and it's pretty accurate, and way better than having nothing at all there. So that's good. Going to the keyboard then. First of all, around the keyboard, on the top right is the power button, and then to the left of that is the Wi-Fi Bluetooth switch. Now, as with the MBook, when you switch the device on from cold, the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are off. So you press this button and then you select either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth on this one, and it's not a single radio on-off for both. It's separate radios for both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And the better thing about this is if it goes into standby with Wi-Fi on, it comes out with Wi-Fi on.
Okay.
So
wait a sec. So you can choose either, but not both.
You can have both, yeah. Either, both, or none. Yeah.
Okay. And you said that if you boot it up, it's always defaulted to disabled.
Yes. I haven't checked the BIOS settings to see if there's anything that can change that.
Yeah. On M1, it was always that, even on standby, and I hated that. I just hate it.
Yeah.
But this is better. Of course, I would like it to have to remember the setting. So this is, I don't know what they're doing and why.
But the standby and hibernate on this are so good that you're rarely switching this device off now. To be honest, I haven't switched it off much at all. So it's not really too much of a problem. And the fact that you can switch them on and off separately is also an advantage.
Yeah.
To the right of that is power and disk lights, and then underneath is the power light. Now there's one little feature on the top. I've forgotten what they call this. Cool bar or something. What's it called? I just want to quickly get the name right.
Cool bar is good.
It's not the cool bar.
It's cool.
Capacitive bar. What's it called? I've got a little piece of paper. It's called the cap sensor. Cap sensor.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a little capacitive sensor, which allows you to swipe left, right, and tap for various features, programmable features. We'll show you that in a minute. It's not that brilliant. It doesn't respond consistently. At least I haven't found a way to make it respond consistently. I don't know whether I should.
Can you use like really fastly to put the volume up or down, or is the keyboard?
When it works, yeah, when it works, you can put the volume up and down, brightness up and down. You can even switch it so that the left part opens an application of your choice and the right part opens an application of your choice. All sorts of functions. I'll show you those in a bit though. Cool. But a lot of the brightness and volume settings and all that are on the keyboard. So it's whatever you get used to. I haven't got used to the cool bar yet, but cat bar yet, but maybe some people will. Now the keyboard itself is scissor action, so same sort of mechanics as a standard keyboard. Travel is not too big. It's maybe 1.5 millimeters. It's not that massive, but compared with something like the eKing S515, which has a pure thumb typing keyboard, that one's better for thumb typing. This one is kind of middle ground, which isn't fantastic for thumb typing, and it isn't fantastic for touch typing, of course. So they haven't committed to either one of those types of scenario, and if you would ask me, they should have committed to the thumb typing style of use, because this is clearly going to be used for thumb typing more than anything else. But having said that, it's not that bad at all. You get used to it, and I think it would slow you down a little bit over a pure thumb typing keyboard, but not that much.
Yeah, but and it's exactly the same keyboard as on M1, which I think it's okay. Like we said, it's okay. It's not perfect for either, but it's you can easily learn to type with that.
Yeah.
Only problem for me has been the weird placement of some keys, but other than that, the actual mechanical stuff is pretty okay.
Yeah. To talk about the placement, then, the only thing that I really find annoying is that there's no right shift key. Of course, when you're on a thumbing board, you need shift key both left and right.
Yeah.
Because
I've actually reprogrammed the InsDel key as a right shift.
Right.
So.
Yeah. That would solve the problem. Yeah. Yeah. Apart from that, all the function keys are there, including F11, F12, so you can get to full screen on Firefox. Brightness, volume, standby, camera on and off, DMB on and off, a quick shortcut to get battery life. There's a home key which starts up Internet Explorer only, so basically useless. And there's a shortcut on the spacebar for a voice record function, if you wanted to use this as a little dictation machine.
Yeah. And
that's about it going around the device. So let's switch it on, but before we do that, we'll take a little timestamp. It's now 21:50, and I'm going to switch that on, and you can time it to see how it. So that was 5 seconds, and this is booting from cold now. Let's see if I can get that a little bit nicer on the screen there. So, specs while I wait for it to boot. This is Windows XP Home with 512 megabytes of RAM. This one's got 32 gigs of SSD, but the one you'll find at Dynamism is 16 gig SSD version. Running on the Intel Menlo platform, so that's a Silverthorne processor, the Z515 at 1.2 gigahertz. Which is the one that does have the hyper-threading, so that's quite good. And that boot speed was around 40 seconds there, so that's not too bad. And that's